So this is Greenland #1, and I gave this to my good buddy who also owns the Porsche Cayenne. And I haven't had a good picture of this in a very long time.
That's all right.
So I just wanted to give some...
Did you do it when you were up there or here back?
Mike, I'm recording.
Oh.
Anyway, so just want to give some detail in here as to, you know, obviously how much work it actually took. And I did this in 2016.
It's a huge job.
Yeah, we're going to put this online, you understand. You see here. Now, the fellow that I gave this to, his aunt is also a painter here in London, and she's very well known. She's very skilled. And it's Virginia Caldwell. That's her name.
She saw it?
I'm not sure if she's seen it yet there, Mike. Nonetheless, this is it here. And, you know, it's... this is one of the very best paintings I've ever done. Like, bar none. One of the very best.
Hello, Internet. I think it's fitting to talk about art talk, right? We're going to do an art talk about the Greenland painting. And obviously you can tell I've been sleeping in a nice nap. And let's talk about technology and see how well I slept. About 5 hours, 4 minutes. And I'm a very light sleeper, and I've said this before in other videos since I started doing this this YouTube channel, that you know, I haven't been sleeping well, especially after I stopped smoking so much marijuana. I may start at some point again, but I'd rather have other priorities as to where and how I spend my money right now. It's just not worth it. You know, maybe I might accept gifts or something along those lines from people that I know who grow it, or I might do it smart to start doing it myself. But at this point, that's not a priority. You know, working and to find a suitable woman for my life is top tier right now. You know, getting my, you know, bringing myself up by my bootstraps. Now, let's see. I got something else that would be a good prop for this. Now, you're seeing me in this shirt, right? It's the B29 shirt from Fifi. But I'll be right back. This will be a good one. There you go, Strategic Air Commands. Sorry, that's Tactical Air Command here. Now this is Tech Sergeant Baker's service uniform, his day-to-day, you know. And I acquired this through my cousin and his father, my other cousin, whom are, you know, they're pickers, or they were. You know, my family's full of scavengers and pack rats, collectors, right? And no, my involvement and my enthusiasm for aviation has been from the ground up. You know, as soon as I could see, you know, I talked about this with the Starfighter, obviously, that, you know, I bleed aviation and anything mechanical. Cars, you know, automotive, yes, because of my family heritage. But aviation especially, that's number one for me. It always will be. So if we're going to talk about the Greenland painting, obviously there's a correlation there, right? They're linked because of the P-38 Lost Squadron project that was to bring up, you know, an example of what's it, the E or the F version. So there was a flight plus 2 B-17s that were in transit during the Second World War that encountered bad weather and then had to ditch over the Greenland ice cap close to Kulusuk. So that painting, the Greenland painting, is from Kulusuk itself. Now, there is an airplane out there, another P-38. It's from the same squadron, and it's Glacier Girl. I encourage you to go look it up. She's still flying today. And when they first did it, it had the people that were involved had a close relationship with the National Guard, Air Force National Guard. I can't remember what state. And from what I can deduce is that they turned it into a training exercise and flew a C-130 out to the ice cap, where, you know, through ground penetrating radar, they found the closest to the surface example and then bore it down to excavate and disassemble the P-38 and bring it back up for a full flight-worthy restoration, which is you know, a monumental task and a huge amount of resources and planning. And I'm not going to tell the whole story as to what happened with the most recent effort in 2016 with Ken McBride and his support. You know, I was there with a fellow named an Australian, Lee Marvin. I'm trying to remember the older fellow's name that was, you know, like very close to Ken. He was like his mentor, known him since he was a very young man. So we had a lot of challenges. You know what? You can imagine how challenging it is logistically to get things set up and have a forward operating base, so to speak, in Kulusuk before flinging ourselves out even further onto the ice and then having to go through with the whole operation. Go on. And I have pictures on Instagram of my time there, and a video on Facebook with Lee. And I remember all this, you know. I'm still trying to verify if I have a photographic memory or not, because I when I think and I try to remember about something, it's moving, right? It's a moving image, and I can hear the people's voices to a degree, depending on how much impression there was. And you know, I stayed on the military base in Iceland with a friend who's now a 737 co-pilot. He was at I'm trying to remember the flight school there, and so that was at I can't remember. It doesn't matter right now. Not Reykjavik, but the largest airport there. And it took WOW Airlines flight, and I think I still have the stub somewhere. Yeah, I might. And it was a real adventure because in the same year, I worked a wind turbine project just before that in Nova Scotia. One of the worst winters Nova Scotia ever seen. Come on, stop that. Which is another story all by itself, you know. And this is why I get so angry, is because I've done so much with my life. And when other people don't want to help me, it's seriously frustrating. It's seriously frustrating to get the cold shoulder, so to speak, from the military. Let's put it like that, you know, it goes both ways. And as, you know, as close as my relationship has been with many veterans and the influence of them on my life and the training they've given me, and as you know, an air cadet for 7 years, I did the whole term, you know, and my commitment to military people has not changed, even though I've been through so many challenges myself. And it doesn't make much of a difference now. You could say that's in the past, move on, build a bridge and get over it. But some things, you know, just never change until, or say, evil persists until good men do nothing. And the path to hell is paved with good intentions. It was soon after that year, or before that, was the same year in which I applied to the Canadian Forces and was refused for student debts, which if I haven't mentioned in one video, I'll do it in this one, because, you know, it's very important to the motivating factors of why I would paint something from Greenland, you know, and then why would I push myself to such a degree on a shoestring budget and, you know, a devil-may-care attitude, because that's how it was. You know, I did it with basically nothing, like absolutely nothing. And when you don't get respect, you know, it's hard to forgive. Isn't that right, Zoe? Yeah. Settle. I'm recording. You want to settle? Okay. Anyways, so I've done a drawing from Greenland as well. It's in one of my sketchbooks. I don't have it prepared right now, but it's in purple, and it's a mirror image, because the water up there is just absolutely clear, because, you know, it's too cold for most bacteria, and you don't get algae blooms up there, even in the summertime. And we did not accomplish reaching the ice cap to where the closest to the surface example it was at that time. But the next year, the year after, what's up? That Ken went back with the POW MIA project to locate the ducks, the two ducks that were also part of the search and rescue effort to find the downed squadron of people, the B-17s and the P-38s on the ice cap, and two of them they suffered inclement weather and they had to bail and crashed into the Atlantic Ocean. So, you know, I wanted to remember kulusuk permanently, and you know, I really do want to go back to Iceland and Greenland at some point and paint more of that landscape because it's just so otherworldly, you know. It feels like you're on another planet, and it's very special. And I didn't really have a lot of opportunity to be a tourist. You know, it was very much a working volunteer mission. And I didn't always, Ken and I did not always meet eye to eye on everything. And, you know, I've talked to him recently during my, you know, one of my recent meltdowns because of stress and coming off of, you know, nicotine and whatever else, you know, having my own issues with Canadian aviation and whatnot, all those determining factors that push someone to having a nervous breakdown. And that's that, you know, because, you know, every one of my paintings is a piece of my life. That's the way I look at it, and that's why I don't like selling them. And if I do, it's more or less a token of appreciation more than it is an exchange for a service. Because true art is not made for money. It's made out of love, and that's the way I look at it. You know. What more is there to say? So that's you know, I'm going to talk about the image itself is a view from above the ridge, because in kulusuk, if you look at this on Google Maps, right, in the bay outside of the town at the airport, there at the top of the hill there was, because kulusuk was used as a radar station or radio relay station during the Second World War, and so there's a tower there, and there's a few barracks that were constructed and then were used by the local people, and then of course, well, you have the Dutch government that governs Greenland, and you know, obviously very difficult to live there, and also a very high suicide rate amongst the native people, which, you know, I empathize with dearly. You know, having been through bouts of depression my entire life because of just things not happening the way that I've wanted them to, and, you know, giving every single piece of my will, determination, and motivation towards that makes things very frustrating. Not just frustrating, but defeating, very much defeating. But, you know, nonetheless, I'm here, and life has highs and lows. But, you know, of course, that picture was taken at around 9 or 10 p.m. Because the sun in the summertime, you know, just goes below the horizon. Obviously, you see the pink there, and then rises again at 2 a.m. As I remember. So it's a very special painting, and it's irreplaceable. It's in good hands. I know it's very much appreciated. It's it's in a place with many other valuable paintings, and it'll be like that forever. But the Arctic is always changing. It's always a tough environment. There was howling winds, very challenging environment, you know, up to 70 kilometers an hour at times, depending. You know, I could hear it out my window, and slept on a cot, you know, a military cot, for the entire month. That's the way it was. And I ended up, you know, and I've slept in the Boston bus terminal on the way back. You know, I had a big beard. I brought my large Canadian Forces parka, and I had my nice nice coat. You know, of course that's gone now. I kind of regret it, but it was very much worn out, and I couldn't fix it anymore. Just always trying to, again, represent my country and the very best of us at every opportunity, even when I haven't felt like it. Because if you carry the flag, you know, on your shoulder, you represent something. And you know, being a creative person, and how much effort it is, a lifetime of effort to be an oil painter. You know, it took me, that painting was done in 2016, and that was the first time I'd done you know, a flat and calm water scene with icebergs in it. You know, that was the first and only time I've ever stepped onto an iceberg, right? An actual piece, a chunk of ice within the area. You know, I left my mark on Greenland, and if I went back, maybe that paint marker is still there on that rock. I'm not really sure. Yeah. If you see this and you're in Greenland, you know that I love you and the place that you live, and I do want to come back and do more art at some point. And the same with Iceland. Iceland, I love you. It just sucks that I didn't get to spend. I didn't have more money. I didn't get to go see the rest of the island. It was always a plan to take my giant rain and do one of these multi-day bike packing adventures through the lava fields across the island, because I'm that skilled. I really am, as a mountain biker, and I say that with confidence, that I could do something like that. But other priorities get in the way, life changes, and you move on. So that being said, you know, thanks for tuning into this one. You know, I put the photos of a new photo of Greenland #1 on my Instagram, and it's Cobalt427, and a short video for which I'm going to attach to the beginning of this. Yeah, we'll see you for the next one.